Step 5.5, Data Structure Analysis. Now we want to look at Global Stability Analysis. Global Stability Analysis is implemented in package flex class. So we're loading the package, we're setting a random seed, and we're creating an artificial data set using the function price feature from package flex class, where we generate a data set with 500 observations, which has a natural segmentation structure with three distinctly different clusters. So that's the data set we're using, and we're performing global stability analysis on it. For this, we're setting a random seed because this is based on bootstrapping data and running the k-means algorithm a number of times. So bootflex class is the function which does it. We're using the data set. That's the first argument. We say for which number of segments do we want to run global stability analysis, and what's the algorithm we want to use. We are specifying we want to use the CC cluster algorithm with 10 random initializations. So once that's finished, we get the returned object, and we can have a look at the summary of that returned object. We want to reduce the number of digits shown for the number for the numeric variables, and we can do this by changing the options in our just a function objects. You can just call options and see what options are currently set. And this has, for example, the options for digits. We say we want to have only 2 digits shown, so like a rounding to 2 significant digits. And options returns what were the settings before they were changed, so we can change it back afterwards to the original settings. And then we call summary, and the summary gives us the call, how was this object constructed, and the summary of rand indices. So these are in fact adjusted rand indices, and we get results for each number of segments. So that's the global stability index distribution for each number of segments. And so these are 100 adjusted rand indices summarized by the 5-number summary plus the mean. And you could either investigate this or inspect this in more detail, or you can plot it using the box plot. For that object, you say, what's the range of the axis for y? That's the label for the x-axis and the label for the y-axis. Okay, so then we have to zoom in, and we see we get a box for each number of segments. So that summarizes the distribution of the 100 adjusted rand index values, and the thick line is the median. The box contains at least 50% of the observation. So this is the 25% quantile, and this is the 75% quantile, and then we have the whiskers out. So we see we get quite high numbers for 2 number of segments, but we have extremely high number for 3 number of segments. These are essentially all ones, meaning we get the identical same partition in each of the cases, regardless if we're using bootstrapped samples. So the 3 natural segments are extracted every time. But if we increase the number of segments further, more than 3, we see that it immediately drops the stability index, because now we need to start. We have only 3 true groups, but we are constructing 4. So 1 will eventually be split into 2. And here, this makes the global stability index to be quite low. In addition, we want to look at what does this look like if we use real data. So we're using the risk data set from package MSA. We're setting a random seed, and then we are running again bootflex class, the global stability analysis function from package flex class on the risk dataset with number of segments from 2 to 9. And here we're using again k-means clustering as a clustering function, and we want to use 10 random initializations of that algorithm. This is now constructing the bootstrap samples, running k-means algorithm on it, and then calculating the adjusted rand indices. We have to wait for this to finish. Okay, and once bootflex has finished, it returns the object, and we can plot it again, either plot or box plot, to get the box plot of the global stability indexes to see how does it perform for number of segments equal to 2, 3, 4. So we see here we have the most stable solution, but the number of segments 4 also seems to be quite stable compared to 3 or 5 segments.